Welcome back to the Draft Rankings Show, and happy Wednesday if you're tuning in here on Wednesday. If you're on YouTube, please click that like button. Please click subscribe. And if you are on podcast, do the thing. Click the 5 stars and give us a review. Again, the goal of the show is to stay under 10 minutes and to be NFL draft centric 2025, 2026, and beyond. This morning, we're going to talk about one thing and one thing only: a 2025 NFL mock draft and curating the perfect top 10 picks. I might give you 11, maybe 12 because the Cowboys are there at 12, but the perfect top 10. When you get down to April and people are turning in their mock drafts for the Huddle Report and it's a competition, the biggest thing is getting that top 10 right. So we're going to start today in early February trying to hammer that top 10. So we'll start out at the 101 here with the Tennessee Titans. And right now, there's a lot of conversation. We've yet to be at the Combine. We just came from the Senior Bowl and the Shrine Bowl. And the Shrine, of course, Tennessee was able to talk to Shedeur Sanders. The Senior Bowl, there was no Cam Ward there, but there was other prospects, and there was also a lot of conversation. The conversation around Tennessee was that their decision was very much not made up yet. If it was quarterback right now, it would be Cam Ward. But more than likely, if they stayed put, it would be either Cam Ward or Abdul Carter. But the thought around the Titans is that a potential trade down to 3 is really what they do want, so that they don't really have to make the decision. The Giants and the Browns make the decision for them. So until we get further information, we're going to go ahead and begin this mock with the Tennessee Titans getting the quarterback of the future for them in Cam Ward. I know they did tell us a couple of weeks ago, we're going to give Will Levis a chance. I think in the end all be all, the new regime needs a quarterback. Brian Callahan needs a quarterback. Mike Morganzi needs a quarterback. I think he's going to see a little bit of Patrick Mahomes in there, just enough out of that arm talent and that off-platform play to believe in Cam Ward. Cam Ward is the 101 here to the Tennessee Titans. At the 102, I think this one's pretty easy. Again, one of the best players, for some people, the best player in the draft. Daniel Jeremiah from NFL.com has Abdul Carter tabbed as his number 1 prospect in the 2025 NFL draft. Myles Garrett asked for a trade in the last couple of weeks from the Cleveland Browns, a trade that could potentially garner a first-round pick, allowing them to do other things, maybe a first-round N+. But picking here at number 2, it allows them to reset that rookie contract money. I know number 2 overall pick still gets paid good money, but Abdul Carter from the Penn State Nittany Lions here at number 2 is, I think, the most ideal choice. If Cam Ward's not there, it's Abdul Carter. If the Cleveland Browns stay put, I don't see Shedeur Sanders going to Cleveland. That one doesn't quite make the most sense. It's either Cam Ward or Abdul Carter if Cleveland stays at 2. So let's go Abdul Carter here at the 102. 3, it gets interesting. You could ask a lot of questions right here. Do the Giants take the quarterback? Are the Giants potentially in the Aaron Rodgers conversation? I know the Jets thing is what that is, but maybe the Giants go out there and take a swing. They've missed so badly in 2024 that they need to start something fresh in 2025. Give Malik Neighbors a chance. I know Malik Neighbors was seen with, of course, Jaden Daniels this weekend at the Super Bowl, but they did meet up with Shedeur Sanders at the flag football game. I don't know. There's a lot of Brian Daboll, Shedeur Sanders connections there in Frisco for the Shrine Bowl as well. For those reasons, I'm just going to go ahead and ride with Shedeur Sanders here and go chalk for 1, 2, and 3. Coming into 104, a lot of people are telling you, go out there, get your Travis Hunter, sign him up for the New England Patriots. Not so fast, my friend. I want to protect that investment, which is the quarterback. Do you really believe that Mike Vrabel, who in Tennessee ran the football, had an all-pro left tackle in Taylor Lewan, does not want to have an all-pro left tackle on day 1 for the New England Patriots? I 100% believe that they will try to get a tackle or address the trenches in some way, shape, or form. There's a lot of tackles right now in conversation growing up the board, but just a reminder, the flat circle has begun its trend. We talked about the flat circle on Tuesday, and the flat circle it's about 3, 4 o'clock right now. A lot of the conversation of guys getting pushed up, it needs to be checked a little bit. Armin Mambu from Missouri, it needs to be checked a little bit. You got to remember Will Campbell from LSU was looked at in the same regards as Kelvin Banks at the beginning. They were the top 2 tackles in this class. I know there's a lot of conversation about Josh Connerly, Armin Mambu. Listen, Will Campbell did not lose his position at the top of the board at the tackle position. We'll see what those arm lengths come in at for Kelvin Banks and Will Campbell, but I'm going to ride with Will Campbell here. 4th overall for the New England Patriots, passing on Travis Hunter. 5th overall, this is where Travis Hunter goes off the board. The most talented player in the draft, likely plays every snap on defense and between 10 and 20 snaps on offense. Travis Hunter, we got to get moving here if we're going to keep the show under 10 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and plug in Travis Hunter, the most dynamic player in the draft, at 5. Now, the Raiders are on the board at 6, and this becomes a little bit of a question for what the Raiders can and will do. The Raiders have a ton, and by ton, I mean a literal metric ton of salary cap space entering this offseason. $95 million to be exact, but that is, of course, also $28 million shy of the league leader, New England Patriots, who have almost half of the cap space wide open to utilize this offseason. Do the Las Vegas Raiders go out and get a Sam Darnold, maybe a Javonte Williams, the running back position, leaving open the wide receiver position potentially for a Tetairoa McMillan from Arizona? Maybe they go offensive line. For now, I'm going to go ahead and ride with Tetairoa McMillan to the Las Vegas Raiders. They need a weapon. They lost Devontae Adams. They've tried to trade for these wide receivers over the course of the last 2 decades, whether it was Randy Moss from the Vikings, Antonio Brown, Devontae Adams. Why don't you just continue to draft? Because it works with Brock Bowers. They did go actually out and get Jacoby Myers in free agency, but just draft Tetairoa McMillan and put him in that number 1 overall spot and put weaponry around whatever quarterback you do choose to play in Las Vegas. Number 7 overall, the Jets have decided to move on from Aaron Rodgers. At 7 overall, they do need some protection as well in the offensive line. You could also look at the wide receiver position. It sounds like it's just going to be Garrett Wilson there, maybe Malachi Corley. Luther Burden seems a little redundant here. Emeka Egbuka seems a little redundant here. Cornerback is of interest here. Maybe potentially a Will Johnson playing opposite of Sauce Gardner. That seems a little bit of a stretch here. Last year, I know tight end was also in conversation surrounding the Brock Bowers thing, as well with the Rams surrounding the Brock Bowers thing. I'm going to go ahead and just go tackle, offensive tackle. You want to talk tackle? Last year they went Olu Fashanu. This year they need to go tackle again. Armin Mambu, I still think it's a little bit of a reach here. Kelvin Banks, Josh Simmons. I'm just going to go ahead and plug in Armin Mambu here at 7 for the Jets. We got to get cooking here. Number 8, the Carolina Panthers are on the clock. The Panthers need a little bit. They need a lot of bit, but they need cornerback the most. Will Johnson is a first-round player. Only like between 12 and 18 players get first-round grades every year consensus. Will Johnson's one of those guys playing opposite of J.C. Horn. Number 9 overall, you have the New Orleans Saints. They need a lot. Edge, corner, tight end, tackle, you name it, they need it. Let's go ahead and plug in New Orleans, Mykel Williams, a super talent who I think will rise through the process post-NFL Combine due to his size, speed, length, and abilities projecting into the NFL. The Bears a year ago went out there and did what? Quarterback, wide receiver in round 1. This year they need tackle. They need offensive line. They go get Josh Simmons from Ohio State. We got 2 picks left in just a minute, so we're going to go rolling. San Francisco, offensive tackle, cornerback, interior offensive lineman. What's the move? The move, you may ask, is to go corner. And corner they shall do with Jahdae Barron from Texas, number 11 overall. And number 12, the final pick, the easiest pick, the layup of all picks in the NFL mock draft sphere of 2025, running back for the Dallas Cowboys, Ashton Jeanty from Boise State. Those are your top 12 picks for the 2025 NFL mock draft from the Draft Rankings show here on Wednesday, February 12th. We appreciate you. We love you. Please click that like button. Please click subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more NFL draft conversation.